What they do here. First and goal. Rodgers hangs in the pocket, throwing into a lot of traffic, and it's caught for the touchdown by.
And as always, you can follow us on Twitter at First and Goal Pod. Follow the guys. Jay is at UPJ33. Dave is at Steak and Cheese. And the fantasy wonder man himself, Dylan, is at DylanBusby1. Email all your questions and comments to us at firstandgoalpodcast@yahoo.com, and you will make the show live during our mailbag segment. Again, that's firstandgoalpodcast@yahoo.com. And welcome everybody to another live edition of First and Goal with me, your founder and producer, Jay Andrews in the UP. And as always, down in Georgia, your host with the most, it's Dave.
What is going on, everybody? First and Goalers, it is football on tonight. I know it's not Packers, but it's still football. And a special moment happened tonight. I wanted to go out and say it right away. Congratulations to Lamar Jackson. Holds the single-season rushing record for a QB. Broke Mike Vick's record. Mike Vick came out and congratulated him. And you know what? It's just, I'm glad it happened to him. Lamar Jackson is an up-and-coming, young, humble kid.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Deserves it. Earned it.
Leading candidate for MVP, too.
Yes. And he probably will win it, which is very rare to win it in your second year like that. It's unprecedented.
I'm glad he is. I'm glad he will win it because, you know what? I was one of the naysayers, Jay. I was one of the guys last year saying, no, he's going to be a wide receiver in 3 years. The guy has proven me and the whole nation wrong. Everyone was against this guy.
Well, you know what, though? The thing is that's kind of funny is that unlike because I know a lot of people would be probably, if they listen to the show and they think, well, Jay, why would you like Lamar Jackson and support him when you bagged on, Cam Newton in his MVP season? They're not even close. Let's be real. Like, Cam would throw the ball 35 times and rush the ball 15 times, and he's running right up the middle, and they're draw plays, and it's like wildcat stuff with him doing it.
Yeah.
Lamar is a pure quarterback when he's throwing the ball, and he is efficient. Most of the nights he's like, 17, 19 to 23, 24, like 225, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, and then he's running for like 100 plus on 8 carries. I mean, he's not getting 15, 20 carries that puts him in danger. Everything
it's a max
Lamar
10.
Jackson does is freaking efficient. He is getting ungodly amounts of stats like Cam was doing, and I think of a quarter of the amount of the the attempts, both rushing and throwing. This is one of those times, Dave, where whether or not you want to agree or disagree with me about him as a quarterback and his ability to throw the ball and projecting him forward as being less of this runner, more of an Aaron Rodgers type, less of a Michael Vick type, I think that's what he's going to be. He's going to be Aaron Rodgers with Olympic speed. That's, and Aaron can't do nothing about that, but that's I want to make that clear. He is going to be more Aaron Rodgers if he keeps developing the way he is with Michael Vick's running abilities than he is closer to Michael Vick. He's so efficient throwing the ball, it's ridiculous. This is historical, and again, whether you agree with me or not, you should enjoy the fact of this just isn't done like this. The efficiency in which this team operates is historical and very fun to watch, whether you're a fan of the team or not, if you just love football.
I mean, that's what it is. It's my love of the game, and to watch him do this, it's history, folks. That's one thing that a lot of very intelligent gentlemen that we've talked to over the show, had on as guests, had private conversations with, they have taught us to respect the game outside of the Packers, outside of football itself, and appreciate what's happening in front of you. Like Brady, people are like, oh yeah, Brady's starting on a fall down. Well, guess what? It's still history, folks. Brady is still a 6-time winning Super Bowl quarterback. And yeah, some people may hate him, but appreciate him. Appreciate the NFL history you're watching right now. In 10 years, you can tell your child, a boy or girl, that, hey, Daddy watched this happen. This was this guy. He was that good. He did things like no other. Like it's going to be like this about Lamar Jackson a decade from now.
Yeah, no. Again, you're projecting still at this point.
I mean, I am. I'm just trying to give that
me too. No,
example.
Me too. I'm right there with you, but I think that's part of what this is seeing what you have now, taking what you feel you already know about what people that are displaying those certain traits and skills at this age, and that's what you're trying to do. It's like watching the stock or anything else. You're trying to just project a trend. In the meantime, I am not going to overanalyze him so much that I can't enjoy what he's able to do right now in the moment on the field, week in and week out. That's damn sure. I know that much. Like,
well, I mean, I used to be one of those guys of saying, "Oh, he'll be a receiver in 3 years," or how I was that way about a lot of players until I took a step back and I joined the podcast. I joined the podcast, took a step back, and really opened my eyes with talking to people like Russell Baxter and Joe. I mean, the guys like that, and it really opened. I know it opened your eyes. It opened mine as well on the game of football itself.
Well, I had a hard time appreciating anybody that I didn't like.
You were just grumpy.
Or like I had a hard time like kind of taking the green and gold goggles off. And I was critical of the Packers, but then outside of that, like nobody was okay. You know, they all had this, and and you know what? I think we say it a lot. Excuse me. It made the games, even the Packer games, more enjoyable. I enjoy football more now watching it. And the funny thing is I'm watching it under a greater microscope than I ever did before, but it's all the little things that I giggle about and I enjoy when I see them now that I missed before because I was too busy being pissed and being more of a fan. And I think that's one of the things that I kind of laugh about a little bit, whereas I don't know if it's a generational thing with us, because I hear guys that inspired me to even start podcasting and want to kind of do a show in this manner live and kind of in the radio manner. We do it with this lighthearted is Jason Wilde and those guys. And Wilde always talks about how he's neutered as a fan and, you know, he can't. And I'm like, not neutered as a fan. I still love the Packers. I still have to step back a few times, but I enjoy the game so much more, you know, and I think I've managed to accomplish that thus far without being completely neutered, you know, from the Packers. And I'm hoping going forward I can keep that, because I would really hate to lose my enjoyment of the team that made me want to, you know, even watch and do this. It would be kind of a sad oxymoron a little bit to lose the enjoyment for that.
Well, you know what, though? I can't sit there and not give credit to Lamar Jackson without giving credit to one of the main reasons why he's doing this well, Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram has been a catalyst for this offense on selling the read option to be able to let Lamar pull the ball out and time it perfectly to get the whole defense to bite, and his physical running prowess. He's running like he's 22 again, man. So that's if he didn't have Mark Ingram this year, I don't think he'd be playing like this.
Well, no, because we saw this offense last year without Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
It was not as efficient. And it's not that it's still built around Lamar Jackson. Ingram brings a balance that it was missing a toughness that it requires to take the punt. Because, okay, I know might sound funny, but Lamar was on a trajectory the way they played last year of being hurt within his first 3 years very badly, and probably it ruining his ability to turn into a pocket passer because there was nobody there to take the punishment on the majority of the downs with this style of offense for him to wear the defense out. So the defense, even when he would they were fresh and they were able to lick him. You know what I mean? Like, you saw it a lot last year. He took hits that you do not see him take this year. With Ingram there being tough, he is literally taking punishment for Lamar Jackson. I know it sounds funny, but because he's a downhill north and south runner, now he's got some shake to him, don't get me wrong. He'll make a guy miss. But he is, he'll bang into the first defender and then 2 or 3 pile on, and he's still moving those 4 guys for a couple more yards. That is wearing out the defense and their ability to really lay the wood on Lamar even when they get a chance.
Yeah.
He's taking punishment from Lamar, therefore making this offense so much more deadly, and Lamar able to do and be more deadly as well. As weird as that sounds.
No, I mean, it doesn't sound weird at all. I mean, I actually like that take. But we do have some other news we have to get to, folks, since we do have an NFL news segment.
Well, we better play the music then, I guess.
Well, I mean, hey, didn't want to ignore news updates,
Only 12 minutes into the show, we're finally getting to the segment 1. That's okay.
Hey, it's not like we have anything planned tonight. All right, folks. First of all, there is a big rumor that Jay and I were talking about Tuesday, and we've been discussing with some fans. So OBJ is apparently told, not just one, multiple sources, that he would secretly like to play for Green Bay. And now Adams is come out and definitely supported the idea, saying on his Instagram post, let's get that face mask green. So Devontae's on board for it. I'm sure you wouldn't mind hearing guys like Aaron Rodgers here say it, Aaron Jones be on board with it. I mean, OBJ's matured since we've seen the hole punch in the wall in Green Bay. He was still a young man, and I've got to say this. So even beyond the Devontae Adams news about OBJ, folks, a couple fans we discussed with today, I think it was Mr. Clear on Twitter, he was trying to say that we were comparing Lazard and OBJ to not get OBJ. And I told him, no, we were comparing OBJ to Lazard on that segment to grade a pay scale because of the fact of what should we pay for him in draft picks to move him out of Cleveland to Green Bay. And he finally understood that, but it's just the fact that people automatically assume we want OBJ and we're going to give up the house for him. No. That's why people need to listen to the show.
No, we were trying to say that it's a prime time to go pick a guy like that.
Yes.
Because you have an undrafted free agent
It's a Moss
rookie
effect.
With similar production like he doesn't have the same amount of touches, but when you look at production per touches, it's similar. That drives the price for what, because look, as much as people want to pretend this is Madden and you can drive the price up and all that, the fact of it is about 5 years ago, this game has took a way hard turn to analytics and advanced metrics.
Yeah.
And they don't use it necessarily like in baseball to build their roster, but what they do use it for is in situations like this. I am not going to give up a first-round asset, okay, where I can get this production, expected production out of that, and I'm not going to get all nerdy, but that's what this gets into. It gets into the advanced metrics that this department and the GMs and that. Why do you think there's been so many goofy trades? And I understand it took a first and a third and all that, but at the same time, I said it too. Cleveland is not exactly like the smart